All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Monday night success calls. It's going to be hard for me to say that because I wanted it to be on Sunday night, but we're keeping our amazing Sunday night Rise and Shine calls, and we didn't want to have too many things going at the same time. But our intent for Team All In, which includes our Diamond Upline, Rainey Anderson, and our other Emerald leaders on our team who are Lauren Yarbrough, as well as Crede Irby and myself. Then we also have Erica Mitchell, who is a senior Ruby, and then Phil Mango, who's also a senior Ruby, who all kind of serve. We work collaboratively. I can't even speak today. Collaboratively? Oh no, I need some sleep. Anyway, we work together with no fancy words needed to make sure that the things that we bring you are fun and of value. And we really felt like that this is something that we've missed out. I know Terry is who's with us tonight on the call. Terry Davis, wave. Hello. She is a Ruby ambassador who is very involved as well in giving us valuable input. And this was one of those things that she's like, hey, where's our calls? Where are our calls? I miss our calls. And she's right. We need to make sure that just because we're busy doesn't mean that we'll get away from just these tidbits of bi-weekly training. And so these were going to be every other week. I know that gets tricky, but with holidays and things that fall, we'll do these about twice a month. And the goal here is not to add something else to your schedule that's a burden. Our goal is to give you a point of contact, to give you a place to come and talk through things, to give you some encouragement, and most of all, to help you have and find success in your business. So we're going to start with, how do I get myself in a paycheck? That's really what our conversation tonight is going to be about. And I really want to make sure that when I talk about this, we're not going to go down into the real nitty-gritty details unless you have a specific question at the end. But my goal here is to help every single person that is new or that has been around for 5 or almost 6 years like myself, that if you want a paycheck in the current month that we're in, that you know what you need to do in order to make that happen. And we can start really easily and say, what are the 2 ways that we make money in this business? There's really 2 primary ways. We make money when we find a customer, and we make money when we invite someone and they join you in the business. Now, it's just like if you go to the grocery store and they have something that you've heard about on TV and you need, that kind of purchase happens, like a customer purchase is going to give you some immediate gratification, and that comes in the way of commission with our business, which means that anything that you have that comes into your website. So you signed up and you picked a website name, right? Mine is jensplexus.com. We can talk about that in a little bit. Maybe yours is Drinking Pink with Terry. I don't remember what Terry's is, but anyway, Marietta has a different one. Scott has his own. Megan has her own. We each have our very own website. So we have to have $100 come through that account in order to stay commission qualified. And that means that anything over that 100, whether it's $1 or $1,000, you're going to make commission off of each and every month. And so having a customer is a great way to start and begin your business. It's going to give you a paycheck. And there's several different ways that you get that paycheck. You're going to get it, like I said, through the commission. Plexus also does this awesome thing that they give you preferred bonuses. So if someone joins with a subscription, if you've seen in your back office, even when you joined, there's a one-time purchase versus subscription. Subscription's going to give your customer a discount, but it's also going to give you a bonus, and that will help pad your paycheck. An example of what a preferred bonus looks like is you get $5 for every bottle of ProBio 5 you sell. So if you with a preferred customer. So every time you make that commission, you add that $5 to it because it's a preferred bonus. So that's a little amount, but it all starts to add up. So you get a customer, you get a preferred bonus, you get a commission, but really after that, you've really kind of capped yourselves. And I want to remind everyone, very few people stay a customer forever, right? We've all done it. We've all gone through products where, I was buying that perfume for a while, and then I got kind of tired of it. So then I went and found something else. Or maybe you go on in the past, maybe you did Slim Fast back in the day. Like, that's really aging myself a little bit because it's not as popular anymore. But there used to be commercials on TV all the time for Slim Fast. People would go through a season where they bought Slim Fast. I would venture to say that most people that bought Slim Fast back in the 90s or even in the 80s are not buying Slim Fast to lose weight in 2019. So remember that when you are thinking about your business and when you are acquiring customers, that they're not going to stay a customer for the duration of your business, likely. They're either going to do one of two things. They're going to stop taking the products, take a break for whatever reason. Maybe they buy the products. Guys, I have somebody that literally bought a bag of Slim from me 60 days ago, still has not opened it. Okay, it happens all the time. People buy things, they stick it on the shelf, they put it on the counter. They're like, I'm going to start it on Monday. They don't realize, right? Even if we educate them well, they don't always realize what they're doing. So there's going to be a number of reasons that they may stop or take a break, or they can do where you can get yourself into a paycheck the fastest, which is they upgrade or become an ambassador. An ambassador sounds like a scary word, so we're going to, instead of using the word ambassador tonight, we're going to just talk about a wholesale customer. And a wholesale customer, that just means that they've bought into our membership, if you will, just like you probably have heard this example probably when you joined, that just like Sam's or Costco, you can pay as little as $40 to join Sam's. I think we pay to be a member at Costco, we pay for the business membership, and we pay like $120 every year for that membership in order to save money, just to be able to walk in the doors, see what they have to offer. I can't even go into Costco without a piece of paper that says I'm a member, right? Sometimes they have special weekends, member weekends. So you're buying into kind of this plan, and Plexus is so much easier than even like a Costco or a Sam's because we give you immediately wholesale prices for 12 months for just one fee of $39.95. And right now, up through today, I think you get a free, still have the ability to use a free code, which means you join for free. You get those benefits, and you don't necessarily have to have $100 go through your website. Now, are we going to say that that's best practice if you want to run a business? Absolutely not. You need to be taking the products. Our products are amazing. You want to be able to take advantage of those discounts. And so, of course, you're going to buy products for yourself. And if you're buying products for yourself and your family, if you're like me, I spend at least $300 a month on vitamins, but I don't feel on supplements through Plexus, but I don't feel that because I make that back and then so much more in my monthly salary and income that I make from Plexus and sharing. So when we think about building our business the fastest, we want to invite people to the opportunity. And instead of, if you think about customers, we're really just thinking about how our products can help people. And so that's very specific. If I have headaches chronic headaches, you're going to offer me Triplex. If you know that I want to lose some weight, you're going to offer me a weight loss package. When we are sharing the business, I want to encourage you to expand your mind and expand your expectations with people, and really offering so much more than just a solution to a health issue. When we talk about health and happiness, which is the motto and the crux of who we are as a company with Plexus, we are a health and happiness company. We want to provide people health. And I feel like that can be assumed and can be learned along the way as people have issues. Because the thing to remember too is that my issues at 6 years into Plexus are different than my issues were 6 years ago. One, because I've corrected a lot of those issues, but two, because I'm aging and we're all aging. And until we can find that magic fountain of youth, which we're pretty close there with Joyum and BioCleanse and ProBio 5. But until we find that magic fountain of youth, we're going to have different issues crop up over time. Families are going to have different issues. I know what my own kids, I had prepubescent kids when I started Plexus, and they all went through puberty, and they have different issues now and need different products. So we can assume that the product part of helping people will kind of organically just kind of come about. But we leave things on the table when we don't offer the opportunity. And we think about this happiness component that gives people the freedom to believe in themselves beyond their current circumstance. my circumstance when I joined Plexus was that we didn't have enough money to purchase $140 worth of products until a payday. And I had to wait 8 or 9 days to do that. And that was not always every day of my life, but it was a habitual pattern in my life where we ran out of money before we did month. And many people can. Yes, Scott. Do you agree? Would you? Yes. So when we are talking to people, the fastest way you can get yourself into a paycheck, and even more importantly, the best way that you can help somebody that you care about get into a paycheck, is to offer this opportunity. And so we're going to really scale this back for tonight's call and talk just about 4 things to simply get started so that you're sharing the business. They are, and I'm going to make sure I have them on my phone. I'm going to share this in a graphic after the call, so you'll have it in detail if you miss anything. But I wanted to go over this in case, because just like everybody's a different kind of learner, right? So we all learn differently. And sometimes it's great to learn auditorily as well as visually. So we're going to talk about 4 things that we would do. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to think about why it is that we wanted to do this in the first place. So going back to maybe you joined Plexus because it was the best deal and you just know that you love the products. And so you're wanting to get the products. That's just smart on your part. So congratulations for making a wise decision. You're saving yourself some money and you're giving yourself the opportunity to make money. But I want you to think beyond that of what else, why else would I want to do this? Maybe you have somebody in your family, like for me, when I went back and thought about why I'm so passionate about our products, is that I had a father who passed away from complications with diabetes. He didn't ever know how to regulate his blood sugar outside of medication. And by the time he really got serious about doing that, it was so far gone that he didn't have the opportunity to even heal himself properly. And he ended up passing away at 60 years old. My kids don't have a grandfather in their life, my dad in their life, because his health was a constant issue. And so that is one of my biggest whys. Another why for me is knowing that we want to never work for another person ever again. We always want to work for ourselves. That is a huge why for me. And when you have a why and you can connect your emotions, if there's something, and not to get cheesy, but if it can make you nervous or sick to your stomach or make you cry or give you chill bumps or push you to this place beyond that numb place that we kind of all stay at on a day-to-day basis, if your reason why can evoke some sort of emotion and connection in you, then that can be the fuel that will help you do what it is that you need to do every day and do it well. I know Marietta's why, I know Megan's why, I know Terry's why, and I challenge you to really take some time to know your why, to sit with your, what we would call shareholders. Your shareholders in your Plexus business are the people that you do life with. So if that's your partner, if that's your wife, your husband, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your kids, sitting down, and that kind of sounds weird to people at first, but if you get your kids involved, I promise you, your family involved, everybody's supporting you. Makes doing calls like this a whole lot easier because everybody knows, okay, mom needs to do a call because it's important to her business. If you go and you attend an event, you go to convention, you spend your own money on that, your family understands, yeah, well, maybe we're doing a vacation in Vegas because that's where I know that I can grow myself, and I'm going to grow my business ultimately by pouring and sowing seed into myself. So it's very important to involve your shareholders. I see her. Hi, Miss Nora. She's like, hey, I know those people in there. So when we talk about that first thing, we're gonna identify our why. And for those of you who are leading on your team that are on this call, thinking about the new people that have joined you, I want you to reach out and share with them. So Scott, after you think about your why, for example, and you talk about it with Bethany, then I want you to talk to your mama about it. And she may already know, but what that does is it helps her understand what's going to motivate you and encourage you along the way to keep doing what it is that you decided yesterday to do. 2, it's going to hold you accountable to her, but it's also going to hold her accountable to you because you've shared with her your heart. And when people give you this vulnerable piece of themselves, there automatically becomes this bigger responsibility. You feel like, I know Megan shared with me one particular story of a mom that joined her last month, and she's like, I just need this to work for her so bad. Well, I know why she needs it to work for her is because that woman opened herself up and said, I've got to see this work because I've got to do something for me, and cried and was emotional about it. So it's a good thing on both sides, and it really kind of sets the stage for wanting to take this whole thing and get off the ground, and that's the way you're going to get your paycheck. Okay. Number 2, then you've got to write and do your first post on social media. I will tell you, there are people that do this business offline, and you can still do that. And if that's your wheelhouse, that's where you're most comfortable, and you have lots of contacts and you like to go meet people face to face, you pick up the phone, you like to text message, you're meeting people for coffee, you're networking all the time. That's great. That's great. Keep doing that. But don't miss out on the opportunity that social media brings you and your business. People love to watch other people, right? This whole voyeurism thing, we live in a society that feeds off of that. That's why whatever this show, the Kardashians, I just heard, they are, their mama is fighting for, they've been on TV like 13 years or something. I didn't even know they've been on TV that long, that with their show. Maybe it's not quite that long, but it was something crazy. And Kris Kardashian is fighting for, she's trying to negotiate like a $25 million deal for them to do their next season, for one season, because they're so incredibly popular, because people just want to watch, people want to watch crazy, but we won't even get into that. People would just want to watch you, right? They judge themselves against you. They compare. They're interested. We have this whole thing that has come up in our society called FOMO, this fear of missing out. So it's not going away, y'all. So we have to figure out how to effectively market ourselves within the social media world. So there's going to be some tips on this post that I share with you about how you start and how you post something. The best place to start is with you, because the people that are watching you are going to want to know how Plexus is impacting you. As a man doing Plexus, that's a whole other niche. People love watching Phil more than they like watching me, I think, because he's had 1, amazing results, but 2, as a man taking products, it's like, oh, well, it's for guys too. Like there's this whole window of opportunity door that opens for other people when they can take a peek into your life. So starting with just your story, maybe you don't have results yet. Maybe you just share what your goal is. And again, we're going to go back to, it's going to provide you accountability when you make that post, because all of a sudden you put out a door hanger that says, I'm doing this. People are going to watch and see, what do you do with it? Are you going to feel better? Are you going to look better? Are you going to make some income with it? I think, like, I love Marietta getting to watch her kind of journey evolve, and just being able to take this cruise recently, knowing that so much of that income that was provided for that vacation came from Plexus. People got to watch that, and they're thinking, their mind is turning. I promise you, there are people that have watched you and your story and went, I wonder, I would love to go on a cruise. I want to go on a vacation, but I don't have any income for that. She did that. She's the same. You know, they're thinking about that, and that all takes time. Hey, buddy. Hi. He's like, this is so weird. Who are all these people talking to me? The power of the internet, right? Of cameras. Okay. My notes keep disappearing on me. All right. So this post does not have to be complicated. Again, for those of you who have new people that have joined, Megan, I know you're listening. We need to get each and every person to do a post to say, hey, I started this pink drink. I'm so excited. It only has to be a couple sentences, and then tag your person that sponsored you. Make sure that they can do that. And the reason why you want to do that is you want that support. And what happens is, often if I see Terry, somebody new on Terry's team that posts and she's been tagged, then I get to see that post. I can go back and then I can say something too. And not that people are spending all day going through and reading each comment, but if they see a post about something and there's 15 comments, they don't even have to look at the comments. They're like, well, oh, what's that? It immediately draws people in. It creates curiosity. It creates interest. And that is the goal of this first post. You do not have to know what ingredients are in each product. Y'all, I don't even still know all the things, and I'm almost 6 years in. So you don't have to know, you just have to know where to look. So you don't have to know, you don't have to be scared of questions. If somebody asks you a question and you don't know on your first post, you're going to just message your sponsor and say, help, did you see it? And if they don't, like, you can screenshot it, send it to them. You can tag them on the post and say, hey, I bet Terry knows the answer. Hey, I know Megan will know the answer. It's okay. People are not going to suddenly not trust you just because you don't have the answer right then and there. We have the resources and the ability to tap into whatever it is that you need when you need it. It's just making sure you do it. Okay. Number 3 of the 4 is I just want you to think about 5 people that you know could benefit from the products or the business. Now, remember what I said at the very beginning of this call. Having a customer is a great thing. But our goal right now is thinking about the business opportunity. So if you think that they're good for being a customer, still write their name down, but I really want you to have 5 people that you know could benefit from having more income. And that's really honestly a pretty easy thing to do for most of us. And I want to help kind of burst the bubble in your head too. If you know people that you would look at and go, they do not need any money. They're doing so well. You don't know what you don't know. Okay. And there are oftentimes perceptions that are very different from reality. And even if people are doing really well, some of those people really like multiple streams of income. And they might be bored, and they might be looking for a challenge, and they might be very interested in building residual income so that they can opt out of some maybe the things that they're doing that's taking their time away, and really looking for time freedom, which is just as valuable as income. So that's the thing that we're going to do. Now, there is something called a Connection 64 list in your back office. We're going to direct where that is as well when you see that post. And don't let that number freak you out. I know a lot of people, when they hear 64, they're like, 64, you just said 5. You will be shocked if you print that piece of paper off, or you sit and look at it and sit down with a piece of paper next to you on your computer and you go, okay, who are all of the soccer parents? Who are all of the people that I know at work? Who's everybody that I know or sit with at church? Who are my friends that I go out with on the weekend? Who is the guy who's this buddy group? This is my poker friends. This is this friends. These are my friends from your old neighborhood. You will quickly come up with more than 64. So you want to fill that sheet in, and it's going to give you some little memory joggers and helpful tips on really thinking outside of just when you sit down, you're like, I don't know anybody. Yes, you do. You do. We promise. I still have people in my network, not new, in my network that I've known all my life, or part of my life, or before Plexus, that is still, 1, either haven't reached out, or 2, haven't fully had that conversation with them about our products. So there are plenty of people to go through and to share with. Okay? We're going to take questions at the very end. We're going to get to this last one. And so the last one is talking about taking action and connecting. Connecting is different than communicating. I'm going to say that again. Connecting is different than communicating. If I send you a voice message, Scott, and say, hey, just checking in, or a text, I would probably send that in text because that would be weird if I just sent you that with 3 words and left it at that. But if I texted you and say, hey, checking in, does that sound like something you need to respond to?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, not really.
Not really. It doesn't show that I care what's going on. It's like, okay, well, why is she reaching out to me? It doesn't connect me to anything that you have going on. And it just kind of falls flat. But it's communicating. I communicated with you, but I'm not connecting. Now, if instead of saying, hey, Scott, checking in, which is something that y'all, embarrassingly enough, I did a bunch of that, especially with customers at the beginning, because I was scared to death. I didn't want to have any scary questions, but I knew that I was supposed to follow up with them. So I'd be like, hey, Marietta, checking in. Hey, Susan, checking in. Hey, Terry, just checking in today. For what? All those messages sat there unread. Or somebody would be like, good, you? And then it's like, okay, wait a second. This is not going where I need it to go very quickly. It's going to take too much time. So when you are reaching out, make sure that you are connecting. A great way to connect is to, one, know what's going on with this person outside of you wanting to draw them in as a customer or an ambassador, first of all. So one, thinking about, first of all, how you were connected to them in the past, if you're not connected to them now, or how you're connected to them now, and then drawing into something that is important to them, more important to them likely than it is to you. A great place for most moms in this kind of situation is their kids, right? Checking in and seeing, oh my gosh, I saw that Nate the Great just finished a fabulous football season. You must be so proud of him. That is going to automatically make Terry feel really good that, one, I know who her grandson is, two, I know what's going on, and three, that he's finished with it, right? And congratulating her on his involvement. Like, I love seeing you take him to practice. I love seeing you do donuts with me. Like, all of that stuff. Knowing what's going on in her life is going to immediately put the wall down and her being like, oh, Jen, thank you so much. I know, I love it. And she's going to probably talk about Nate for a minute in that message. But then it's going to leave a door open for conversation to continue. And the more that the conversation can continue, the more you're going to connect. Now, there is a bright, flashing yellow light right here. Because you can get stuck, just like a boy can get stuck in the friend zone. You can get stuck in the conversation zone very quickly and easily if you are not strategic and know how to stay, one, connected, but then the minute you connect, you are able to make a jump and draw them in and to interested. We say at our house, all roads lead to Plexus. So we have to think about that. And that's going to take some time and some finesse. And this is where, if you are new, I really want you to work with your sponsor. We could give a couple of examples here, but I want you to think about, more importantly, that individual connection that you have with someone, and then listening, asking questions. Asking questions is a great technique. Like, oh my gosh, Terry, if I'm talking to her about Nate the Great and she's saying I'm really glad that practices are over because they were at 7 a.m. every morning or 7:30 a.m. and I was taking him to all of his practices. I might respond to her to connect and then jump to go, oh my gosh, that must be so exhausting. How are you feeling after doing all of that? And Terry could say, oh, I'm feeling great, which is what she would say to me. I know. But if it wasn't really this Terry and it was an alternate Terry, she could say, oh my gosh, yes, I'm constantly exhausted. I'm going back home and going back to bed. You are? Oh my gosh, that must be fun. Yeah, and I'm having horrible headaches because of it. Now she's opened the door for me to go, I am so sorry that you've been struggling with that. I would love to share a possible solution. I have found Plexus has saved me when I used to have headaches, when I used to be exhausted, when I used to have to come home for a nap. You connect it to it. And if it's not your story, you just connect it to somebody else's, because there are stories out there and you can go find those before you respond. And that is the beauty of social media. That's the beauty of texting and messaging, is that they can send you that message. You can do a little reconnaissance work and go figure out and see if you can find a great story about it. And better yet, after you say that, I can say, Terry, can I send you a video? I think that this product that I'm taking, I think you would love it. Would you just watch it and let me know what you think? That's all you have to do, you guys. It's not rocket science. It's not super complicated. It just requires a process. And then guess what happens? You wash, rinse, repeat. And then you wash, rinse, and repeat again. And then you wash, rinse, and repeat. And you just keep doing it. But you change it up, remembering and reminding yourself that connection is always key, but don't get in the friend zone, because you will get frustrated. And I'm not saying don't connect and keep your genuine relationships. And if there are people that you normally go back and forth 50 times in a text message with, because that's your relationship, I don't want you to change that. And I don't want you to, you do have to be really mindful that you don't, take advantage of those close relationships, those closer relationships that you have like that, being the most forthright and saying, hey girl, I'm doing this and I know you probably think I'm crazy, but I want you to try it with me. We could have so much fun, even if you just try it for a month to support me, to show me how much you care about me, I would be forever grateful. Just try it. We have that 60-day money back guarantee, so you can get your money back if it doesn't work for you. And in those close relationships, you can do that. But in those fringe relationships, those where you still don't quite have, especially people you haven't talked to in the past, connecting, reconnecting, and then making that jump. And if you get stuck and you need help, again, there's the beauty of screenshot, send it to your sponsor, send it to me. We'll help you finesse it and turn it around and be able to have a great response back. So we have this method when we take all of this stuff and we put it in a fancy little process. We call it send, share, and invite. And I have this little pamphlet just so you can see. I know, Marietta, you have these, don't you? You have one? It's all in your back office. It's all in your back office. You don't have to have any third person paper, but this is really, if you are a pen and paper girl or boy like me, it does give you like a place to write people's names. And then you can keep track of, oh, I sent them a video. Oh, I sent them a story or a testimony. I've invited them. And then we're not even going to get into this week. We're going to really delve into the process of send, share, invite in our next call, because tonight was just really about how to get a paycheck. But this is something that you can access in your library, in your back office. So take advantage of that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, ask your sponsor and they should be able to walk you through it very easily. I think just a side note here, don't be afraid of your back office. There's nothing that you can screw up. You can't turn your account suddenly into negative $450. It's just not possible. You can't break it. But there's lots and lots of great resources and information. And be careful, because you could find yourself spending an hour or two when you wanted just to spend 10 minutes back there. But there's lots of great information, so take advantage of that. Okay, so there's just 4 things, right? There's the why. There's your first post. There's thinking of your 5 friends. And then there's taking action, which means reach out to those 5 people. Oh, there's 5, not 4, 5. And then challenge yourself that if you can get through those 5 people in a breeze, maybe the goal is then 5 a day. And I don't want to scare you, but I know Terry and we've talked. I know Marietta has at times too. I know Lauren's on here. It's very easy once you are in the rhythm of the process to reach out to 5, 10, 15, even 20 people a day. Because it doesn't take very long to put out the feeler to connect. It doesn't take very long to share. It doesn't take very long to invite. And it doesn't take very long to sign up even, right? When the system all works. Great and wonderful. So that graphic and information is going to be up on the page. I am going to, just as a refresher, just as a reminder and an overview, if we want to get ourselves into a paycheck, customers are great, but business builders are where it's at. That brings me to what's going on with corporate this month, which is this double your bonus. So we are from the April 14th, which is yesterday, until the end of this month, we have what's called a double your bonus. I can't even remember the name of it. I wrote it down somewhere here. Basically, you're doubling your bonuses, all your level 1s. That just means anybody that you personally invite to join you in this business, instead of making $25, which, by the way, you get paid in a week, not next month, which is awesome, will be doubled to $50 each. So you invite 1 person, then you invite 2 people, and those $25 business builder bonuses become $50. If you have been with Plexus prior to April 14th and you added someone in the month of April, you already have 1 person in your hopper to earn that double bonus. So you just need 1 more person with either a $99 or a $189 pack this month. Those are $10 off, which is a great, great value. And you double up that bonus. There's also a how to make $500 in Team All In, as well as the Dream Makers page. I think Terry also posted it, of different scenarios that you can earn up to $500 by joining Plexus this month. That is an incredible offer. If you're listening to this and this is like June of 2019 and you're like, oh, that stinks because we don't have that incentive going on. Let me remind you that that Plexus is constantly giving us amazing incentives to grow our business. It's really just about sharing with 3. You share with those 3, you get them started, you do what we're doing now, which is just help them get there 3. And that process should slowly and sometimes very quickly start to duplicate and then multiply and mushroom and take yourself into total momentum to build yourself a business beyond your wildest dreams. If you had told me that I would be making 5 figures a month when I started this business, I would have laughed in your face and said, oh, that's funny. Because I had worked way too hard prior to Plexus to make a lot less, that I didn't really think or know that it was really, that kind of thing could happen to me. But it's happened not only to me, but it's happened to so many other people that I know, that I can confidently say that if you start this process and you are consistent with this process, you can build the biggest paycheck you've ever seen, ever in your life by just implementing these simple principles. And these girls on here too are shaking their head because they're well on their way to doing that. And it's a super exciting thing. It's definitely one of my whys. And I'm thrilled to see other people do it. I think that's it for our recorded piece. I will also say a very important thing. When you add those 3 people, just in general, we have something called a rank bonus. But really, we like to say that it's just a thank you bonus for inviting your 3 friends to get started. And you actually make a $100 bonus. That is incredible. So you can quickly add to your paycheck. If you're thinking about this month, you get your 3 people. Those become $150 bonuses and business builder bonuses. You add that $100 and that other bonus, that silver bonus, and that's $250 for just inviting 3 friends. If you've joined in April, you know that you're getting 3 free codes for those friends. So they're getting to start with a $40 savings, which is amazing. Okay, so we're going to stop recording.